Hi everyone, welcome back for another edition of Virtual Yoga. Today we're doing a new class. We're going to be doing chair yoga. This class is specifically designed for seniors or anybody with limited mobility. So it's going to be just a nice general class for some movement, for some strengthening, for a little bit of stretching. But before we get started, a few props that I want to recommend. If you have some hand weights, we're going to be using a few of those. Even if you don't have any, you could always just go through the movement. But if you do have some, go ahead and grab a pair. Maybe a towel. I always recommend a hand towel. Maybe a yoga block as well. Maybe a kitty, if you have one too. This little boy's probably going to sit on my lap most of the class. We will see how that goes. And also another thing, before we get started too, our class today, the majority of it will be in the chair. I will offer up some suggestions for you to stand up if you'd like to. A few of our poses might require us to stand, but again, a lot of this is going to be done in the chair. I will give options for both. So really, whatever you feel comfortable with, please do that. If your body's saying, I'll just sit down, that's fine. But if you feel like you want to stand up and do a couple of balancing postures, I'd recommend at least trying. And you can always use the chair for support. I'll show you a few different ways on how to use the chair to help you balance in your practice. But if we're ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. Comfortable position in your chair. And you can go ahead and close your eyes. Nothing to see at this point, just more to feel and pay attention to. And I want you to pay attention to your breath. Breathe low in your belly and low in your diaphragm. If you're ever curious, you want to make sure you're doing this correctly, place a hand on your stomach below your belly button. You'll feel the stomach expand when you take an inhale. It will contract when you take an exhale. And this is belly breathing. It's the breathing technique I recommend, especially for now. But even throughout the practice, something I always want you to be aware of when you're doing your yoga practice is how you're breathing. If you start losing control of your breath, this is where you need to take a break. You just sit down, catch back up with your breath, and when you feel like you've caught back up, then join us back in the practice. I would rather you have more control over the breath and the movement versus just going through the motions. So please keep that in mind when you're doing your practice today. And then when we feel like we've had enough of the strengthening portion, about halfway through the practice, we'll transition and we'll stretch. We'll hold some poses for a while. Maybe about a minute or two with each individual pose. It's going to be just enough time to stretch out some of that muscular tension we create through strengthening. But during the hour, if you need help, always feel free to type in your comments, questions via our Facebook Live thread. My better half is always on standby, ready to read those questions out to me. We haven't had anybody do that yet, but I'm sure at some point it's probably going to happen, so I feel like it's always worth shouting out. So if you need help, let me know. I am more than happy to help you out. But the thing that I really want you to trust is your own experience. Again, if your body tells you to not do something, don't do it. If your body's saying, give it a shot, well, give it a shot. But again, if you need anything, let me know, because I'm more than happy to help you. When you are ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And we're going to start our practice off loosening up our hips and spine, as we always do, but just in a chair today. So what I want you to do is twist from side to side, a little bit of back and forth with it. And something else to always add into it, lean forward, like take your right hand to your left foot and twist. Left hand, right foot and twist. Just using your intuition, because there's not a right or wrong way to do this. It's more of just, how do I need to move my body? It's very similar to like yawning and stretching. I can't teach you how to yawn and stretch. You just kind of do that, right? You lift those arms up. You take a deep yawn, excuse me. Even though I'm faking it, it became real, which by the way happens for everybody. And yawning is contagious, so if you just yawned, I apologize. But it really is. It's contagious actually not only between humans, but with interspecies. So chances are when you see like your dog or your cat yawn, you're going to yawn too. And when you're ready, I'm going to be doing a few cat and cow poses. Again, just modified to do it in the chair. Cat and cow poses are forward bends and back bends. And this is where we start linking our breath with our movement. So what we'll do, we'll exhale first and round the spine forward and look down. And then inhale for a back bend. Lift your chest up, lean back. Exhale, bend forward, look down. Inhale, back bend. Lift the chest up, lean back. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward bend. And inhale, back bend. And on your next exhale, take your right arm under and across your left. You'll have your left hand on the left knee. And you're doing a spinal twist here. Try to get your right shoulder down to the right knee if you can. If not, though, it's fine, right? The principle of this is to twist the spine. So if you can't lower all the way down, that's okay. When you're ready, inhale back to the center. And then exhale the other side. You'll have the left arm under and across the right. Your right hand is on your right knee. Left shoulder coming down, maybe touching your left knee. Spinal twist, right? We take a few breaths in this twist here. We're not just going to go back and forth with it. When you're ready, inhale, come back to the center. Shake it off a little bit. Here's where we're going to do some sun salutes. We're going to do 2 in the chair. Maybe we'll do 2 standing up. That's going to be completely up to you. But I wanted to start off in the chair first. So if you don't feel like getting up, you'll be doing this instead. So again, a sun salute is, again, forward bends and back bends with it. But here's where we actually start to really work into our poses. So a sun salute, we'll do a modified, half of one, essentially. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, arms up above your head. Exhale, bend forward. Hands to the floor if you can take them there. Inhale, flatten your back about halfway. And then exhale, round back forward. And then inhale, lift up, arms up. And exhale, arms at your heart center. And there's one, right? Let's do another one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Hands to floor if you can take them there. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round back forward. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. Maybe actually let's do one more of those. We'll do a total of 5 with all these. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Hands to floor if you can take them there. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round back forward. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. So there's the seated version. If you want to do the standing, you can go ahead and make your way up standing. Maybe I'll show you from the side, probably be easier to see the profile view. So again, linking breath with movement. When you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Hands to floor if you can take them there. Inhale, flatten your back. Here's the halfway. Exhale, round back forward. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. There's one. Let's do another. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Hands to floor if you can take them there. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round back forward. And then inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. Very good. And there's 5 sun salutes. Even though they were modified, there's 5 of them. Let's go ahead and we'll do some moon salutes to complement the sun. So moon salutes are for the side body, right? Obliques. Come here, buddy. You want to get a shot? Got a little celebrity coming in. Isaac very rarely makes appearances on this show. But when he does, it's always special, right? Say hi to the world. Hello. All right. There you go. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so a moon salute. When you're ready for the side body, you're going to inhale, arms up above your head. Exhale to the left for half moon. Inhale back to center. Exhale right, half moon. Inhale back to center. Exhale open wide for a goddess pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale over your left leg. Try to grab onto your left ankle with both hands. Inhale, flatten your back over the leg. Exhale, round back forward. Inhale, your right arm up for a triangle. Left hand stays down. Exhale, lower it down. Pet your cat while you're there. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, goddess again, opening wide. Inhale, arms up. Exhale over your right leg. Grab your right ankle, both hands. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round forward. Then you're going to inhale your left arm up for the triangle. And exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift up, arms up. And exhale, arms at heart center. And there's one of those. Let's do another. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left, half moon. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right, half moon. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open wide, goddess pose. Inhale, arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale over your left leg. Grab your left ankle with both hands. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, round forward. Inhale your right arm up for your triangle. Exhale, lower it down. Pet your cat while you're there. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, arms up, straighten your legs if you can. Exhale over your right leg. Grab your right ankle, both hands. Pet your cat while you're there. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round forward. Inhale the left arm for a triangle. Exhale, lower it down. Pet your cat. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. Very good. Let's do two more of those. Let's do them standing if you'd like to. Again, you could do the whole thing sitting down. That's going to be completely up to you. If you feel like you want to sit, keep doing it. You want to stand, do it too. Shake it off when you're ready. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to the left for half moon. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right, half moon. Inhale back to center. Exhale, goddess pose. In standing, you're going to bend the knees. Inhale, arms up. Maybe straighten your legs if you're standing. Exhale over your left leg. Grab your left ankle, both hands. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round back forward. Inhale your right arm up for the triangle. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, goddess. Bend the knees if you're standing. Inhale, arms up, straighten the legs. And exhale over your right leg. Grab your right ankle, both hands. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round back forward. Inhale your left arm up for your triangle. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms, heart center. Very good. So there's one standing, 3 if you're sitting. Let's go ahead and we'll do one more. Thank you, buddy. That's very nice. When you're ready, let's do it again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left, half moon. Inhale, center. Good flop. Exhale, right, half moon. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, goddess pose. You bend the knees if you're standing. Inhale, arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale over your left leg. Grab your left ankle, both hands. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, round back forward. Hey, buddy. Inhale your right arm up for your triangle. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, we'll lift up, arms up above the center. Exhale, goddess, one more time. Inhale, arms up, straighten the legs if you're standing. Exhale, over your right leg. Grab the right ankle, both hands. Inhale, flatten your back halfway. Exhale, round forward. Hey. Inhale, left arm for your triangle. Exhale, lower it back down. Pet your cat while you're there. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. Very good. You can go ahead and take a seat if you like to. We're going to do another sequence. Lava flows down the mountain. Again, could be sitting, could be standing. I'm thinking about doing 2 of each. So if you want to keep sitting for the whole thing, that's fine. Or if you want to stand, that's okay too. So if you're familiar with these, you could just stand. But if not, stay in your seat. But allow the flows down the mountain. Again, another warm-up sequence for us. You're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale over your right leg. And you're going to flow down and then gather energy, kind of swaying from side to side here. And then you'll inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale over your left leg. Flow down and then gather energy. That right there is one, right? So we'll do a few more sitting, we'll do a few standing. When you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale over your right leg, flowing down. Gather energy, sway. When you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale over your left leg, flow down. Gather energy, sway. There's two, right, from our seated position. If you want to stand, right, feel free. Same deal, inhale, arms up. Exhale over your right leg, flow down. Gather energy, sway. When you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale over the left leg, flow down, sway. When you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale over the right leg, flow down, sway, gather energy. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale over the left leg, flow down, sway, gather energy. Just one more time. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. And go ahead and take a seat. We've done enough of the warm-up sequences, but let's throw in some upper body. So if you have some weights, now is the time to grab them. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do some bicep curls. Let's do both at the same time. So when you're doing this, you could sit if you'd like to, right? That's totally fine. If you want to stand, some people just prefer to stand. I don't really mind. Let's do it for about a minute, right? So do your curl. When you lower down, do your best to not straighten your elbows. When you straighten your elbows, you are very likely to hurt your elbow because all you're doing is you're compressing your humerus, your big arm bone, into the ulna, which is your elbow, big bone right here in the wrist, right? So when those bones come together, you're actually going to risk degeneration to it. So please keep some bend in your elbows. Even the world's greatest bodybuilders abide by the rule of not going to 100% of your full range of motion, because that's how you hurt yourself. Very good. When you're ready, finish that last one. Lower the weights down. Shake it off a little bit. Always giving your arms a break here. We're going to do another thing for the upper body. This one you can sit if you'd like to. I'm also going to give you an option to lay on the floor. Again, up to you as to whatever you choose. But we're going to be doing a chest press, a bench press essentially if you're laying on the floor. So you'll have your weights again. You'll push out and you come back in, right? Back and forth with this movement. However, if you would rather lay on your back here, that's fine, right? Some people actually will prefer to lay down here. I actually enjoy doing it on the floor because my elbows, when they hit the floor, they're going to prevent me from reaching too far back behind me, which is another way that we often hurt our shoulders. So again, for about a minute, whatever you feel comfortable with. Try your best to breathe. Hey, Wendy, no, please don't do that. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Very good. She just wants to give me some love, right? Whenever your animals see you down the floor, right, they're going to come up and love on you. Very good. Remember to breathe. Always, always, always remember to breathe. Very good. And when you're ready, lower your weights down. Take a moment to yourself. Always giving your arms a break in between any upper body exercise or anytime you're using weights, right? You don't want to just get up, go right to the next move. So shake it off. Right? Breathe. going to be doing another thing for the arms. I think this is actually going to be the last thing that we do for upper body that involves weights. They're called a shoulder press. Sometimes with this one, I would actually recommend leaning back into your chair. There's a reason. A lot of times when we do this particular exercise, if we're up too far forward, we end up reaching our arms too far back. And you see how the arms, when they come too far back, you're at risk of compressing your humerus, this big arm bone, right into the acromion. So that's going to hurt your shoulder, right? So when you do this, I want you to lean back. When you lean back, you'll bring the weights to your chest, and then you'll push up, right? To the chest and push up. Maybe I'll actually flip it from the side so you can see this a little bit better. So you'll have your weights. This is the last time we're going to use them for upper body. Lean back in your chair very slightly. Push up. Come down, right? For a minute, as best as you can. Don't worry about rushing through it, right? Please don't rush. This is exactly how you hurt yourself when you rush through any kind of exercise. Very good. Go ahead and do one more. And when you're ready, lower the weights down. Shake it off for a moment. Short breather. A lot of upper body right there for you. But we are done with upper body for the weights. So we're not going to use them anymore for that. But we will do some more things with the weights here that are going to involve your core muscles and involve your back muscles. But let's skip that for now. Working into the core, we're going to do bicycle sit-ups from our chairs. So what we're going to do here, a few movements. I would actually recommend coming up to more of the edge of your chair with this one, so you don't actually end up slouching back into it. We want to keep nice posture when we do these activities. So when you're ready, you'll have your hands behind your head, or maybe just kind of at your neck, wherever you're comfortable. You're going to take your right elbow, cross it over to the left knee. Come back. Left elbow, right knee. Right? You're alternating between the two. Right elbow, left knee. Left elbow, right knee. Back and forth for a minute. If you want to make this more challenging, you feel like you're not getting enough out of it, keep your legs off the floor the entire time. And then when you cross over, extend the other leg. So when I'm taking my right elbow, left knee, my right leg is straightening. Back and forth between the two. Again, 100% up to you how you approach it. But the point is to feel your core muscles, your abdomen, your stomach muscles. Very good. When you're ready, balance out and then lower down. Elbows to knees. A little bit for the core right there. We're going to do two more things with our core. We're going to be doing some twists with weights. They will be optional. So if you want to grab maybe one or both of those weights, go for it. But again, you actually don't really need them for this particular one. I usually will do with one, really just because I think it's easier just to grab onto one weight and do this. But the idea behind the twist here is just going from side to side. It will target your obliques, right, your side body. So at your own pace for a minute, right? Once again, you want to make it really challenging? Keep your feet up off the floor. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about how you do it. If this is the first time you've ever done yoga in a chair, right, give yourself that opportunity to grow. You know, maybe the next time you do it, you'll be able to do it like this. Or maybe in a few practices, maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few months. It's okay, right? Don't judge yourself off of where you are now. Just be thankful that you're doing the practice right now. Very good. Finish your last one. Balance out. Lower down. Shake it off. Maybe elbows, knees again. Usually feels nice to do it with elbows and knees after some core work. We're going to do, one more thing with our core. We're going to be doing a deadlift. So weights will be involved, although again, you don't necessarily need them. I would recommend at least one though, if you can do it. So a deadlift, you can do it sitting or standing. I'm going to show both, and I'm going to flip over to the side here. Again, I want you to see the profile view of when we do this. So with a deadlift, one or two weights, I'll just use one for the sake of example right now. You have the weights. When you bend forward, bring your chest forward. Tap the weights to the floor. Lift up using only your core and your back muscles. Don't use your arms, right? If we use our arms, we're cheating, right? So let's not cheat. Let's make it more about the back, right? Lean forward, bring the chest forward. Lift up using the chest and back. And the reason why I say bring your chest forward is because when you bring your head forward, you're likely to hurt your back because there's a lot of rounding here. We want to keep nice posture, right? Flat back, lift up. Could do it standing up as well if you'd like to. Maybe I'll show that too as well. But for a minute, all of these, right? Bend forward, tap the weights down, lift up using your core and your back. When you're doing the standing, bend your knees as much as you want to. We're not doing a straight leg deadlift, so feel free. Breathe. I like to link breath with movement here. I'll exhale down, inhale up. Right, that's just me. Go ahead and do one more. And when you're ready, place the weights down, shake it off. We are actually done with weights today, but we're not done strengthening. We got a little bit of time left for some legs. I want to do some balancing postures, just a few of them for the legs. After that, we're going to transition into stretching and we'll hold some poses for a while. We'll do almost an entire yin yoga sequence in the chair. So with the last thing for strengthening, for the legs, I would recommend standing up for this one and using the chair to your advantage. I am going to have my chair on my left side, just so we're all on the same page here. So you can always have your hand on a chair, right? If you need it, it is there for you. We'll do warrior one, warrior two, and a tree pose today. This will be a lot of balancing for us. Actually, let's do this. Let's have our left foot out in front. And you'll have your right foot behind, right? Here's the pose. Now, you can have your right hand up and your left hand down on the chair, or take it off, right? If you don't need it, here's the pose, right? But I do recommend having the chair next to you just in case, like you start feeling like you're going to topple, you got something to grab onto, right? Very good. We'll do warrior two next. Left arm out in front and right arm behind. Once again, you might have the chair next to you, right? So if you need something to grab onto, right, it's there. If not, though, completely disregard what I'm saying. Very good. Let's go ahead, inhale, straighten ourselves out, shake it off a little bit, come back to standing into a tree pose. I'll have the center straight view for it. My chair is still on the left. I'll have my left foot down. I'm going to bring my right leg up. Here's where I start to hit into the tree pose. Right foot can be wherever it needs to be. Could be toes on the floor, heel to heel. Could be against your calf. If you can get up to the knee, go for it, or up to the inner thighs as high as you can go. One hand on, one hand off, or both off. Heart center, or maybe start out wide. You know, when the arms are out wider, you have a better center of gravity, you know, just less likely to topple over as opposed to when you bring it in. Something else that will help is keeping your gaze steady. There's a dot on my floor, I'm staring at it, right? It keeps my body steady. Very good. When you're ready, place that right foot down and dangle. Stretch it out a little bit. Maybe just coming elbows to knees. And when you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. And then we'll do the other side. So if you're on the same page as me, your chair is now on your right side with our Warrior One pose. So let's say we'll have the right foot out in front now, right? Left foot behind. Show you from the straight on view here. I think this helps too. Hand on the chair, right hand's on it if you need it. If not, you got them both off. Heart center is where we start this. Really feel those legs working, right? Warrior Two, right arm out in front, left arm behind, right? Reach your back behind it. You still got the chair here if you need it. When you're ready, we'll head into the tree pose. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Let's exhale, step up, shake it off. Right foot down, left foot up in your tree. So you got the right hand on the chair if you need it. So let's start off again, maybe toes on the floor, heel to heel. Maybe just to your ankles. Maybe up to the shins, inner thighs, as high as you can go. If you don't need the chair, maybe you start out wide. Maybe you bring your hands into the center. Keep your gaze steady. Focus on something. Very good. When you're ready, lower that foot down, dangle, stretch it out a little bit. You can always take a seat in your chair now if you'd like to. Just bend forward and relax. When you're ready, inhale, lift up, arms up. Exhale, arms at heart center. And we are done strengthening for today, but now we're ready to transition into stretching. But before we just move into it, let's close our eyes for a moment. I want you to give your body a moment to transition from the active practice into the passive practice. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to start our practice off, the yin portion of it, with the inner thighs and with the back. If you're doing this one in the chair, you're going to spread your legs out as far as you can, wherever that stops, right, that's fine. And you're going to start leaning forward. Hands on the knees, maybe down to your shins, maybe hands on the floor. This is where a block or maybe two blocks might come into play. So you can always have your hands on blocks here. Just one. If you only have one, you can always flip it up. Either way is fine. The intention is to feel your inner thighs and feel your back stretching because now we are rounding forward in the pose. This is where I want you to bring your head forward and not necessarily your chest forward. Now, if you feel like you want to do this on the floor, a butterfly pose is always fine. We've been doing this a lot lately in the yin practice. Soles of the feet together, falling and rounding. Same deal, inner thighs and back. Dragonflies are fine too. Lean forward. Inner thighs, back. So whatever you feel comfortable with. But again, since I'm doing a chair yoga class, I think for the first time it's important for me to show you how to do it in the chair. Breathe here. Please don't forget it. When you're ready, inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, relax. Shake it off a little bit. Give yourself a breather, right? At least a moment here. We're going to be stretching our hamstrings next, and we're going to do both at the same time. Caterpillar pose. And this goes for everybody in the chair and on the floor. So let me show you the chair first. So I'll show you from the side. You're going to have your legs out in front of you, and you're going to lean forward into it. If you have a block, I definitely would recommend using it. Put your block in front of you. You'll have the soles of the feet on the block here, and you lean forward. You'll feel the back of your legs. You'll feel your back stretching. If you can touch your toes, go for it. If not, don't worry about it. Maybe just grab your shins. That's fine. You could always use your towel. Again, once again, this is where it can really come in play. You loop it over your toes here and use it to pull you forward so you can get a little bit more work into your back. If you want to do it on the floor, a regular caterpillar pose is fine, right? Both legs out, lean forward. Same deal, right? So whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But again, since I'm teaching this in the chair, I feel like I should do it in the chair. Breathe here. You know, if you ever need to come out of a pose for a moment, like move your neck around, move your back around, that's fine. I don't expect you to be perfectly still the entire time. At some point, you're going to feel like you got to move, just to break up some stiffness, stagnation, and then you'll come back in the pose. When you're ready, real slow, use your hands, push yourself up. Exhale, relax. Shake it off a little bit. Take a moment. We're going to stretch our IT bands next. This is going to be one that everybody has to play around with because everybody's hips are shaped differently. Some people are going to prefer to do it one way. Some will prefer to do it another. I'm going to give you like 3 different poses to work with. They don't really have names. They're just different ways to stretch the IT band. Again, outside of the leg though, if you feel knee pain or hip pain, modify it. Please work around it in a different, maybe a different pose or just a slightly different way of doing the pose you're in. Because I don't want you to feel your knee or your hip. You want to feel a broad stretch on the outside of your leg. If you're in the chair, some people can just cross their leg over and they can feel the outside of this crossed leg being stretched, right? Another element you could always add to this one is leaning forward. Maybe just going down to your elbows here real slightly. But a lot of times when flexion of the spine is involved, bending forward is involved, it's going to dial up the intensity here. That could work. If it doesn't though, a lot of people will just hug their knee up to the chest. If you can grab your knee and hug it up, go for it. Now, if you're really limited on mobility, maybe you don't want to do either of those poses, but the same leg, cross it over, have the outside of the foot on the floor, and lean forward here as well. Again, you don't have to really bend that far forward to feel this being stretched, the outside of the leg. Now, personally, I was feeling it more up here with the crossed leg leaning forward, so I'll stick around here. But if this does not work for you, again, hug your knee to the chest, or rest the outside of the foot on the floor, and lean forward. Every one of these poses that I've shown, they all exaggerate the same movement with your femur, your big leg bone. If you're ever going to stretch your IT bands, this part of the leg, the femur, has to turn out with what's called external rotation. There is no other way to stretch your IT bands without turning that leg out to the side. So every single pose that I've shown all exaggerate that. Some do more than others though. That's why I gave those modifications. When you're ready, real slow, use your hands, push yourself up, lean back, uncross that leg, take a moment. Feel the difference between the two sides, right? We've only stretched the one. Sure feels different than the other. other side if you're ready. Whatever side you're on, just make sure you are on your other one, because that is really important. You don't want to stretch the same side 2 times, right? You want to do both as best you can. The first one that I gave here for the IT band in the outside of the leg was just crossing the leg over. Again, a lot of people don't even have to bend forward to feel this being stretched. So if that's you, stay there. But if it's not really working for you, you could always lean forward into it. That will dial up the intensity here for the IT band. If that doesn't work though, maybe hugging your knee up to the chest is fine. If you can hug your knee, right, go for it. Same deal outside of the leg. But we don't want to feel knee pain. We don't want to feel hip pain. This is too localized. That's how you overstretch. It's guaranteed. If you're really limited in mobility and you can't hug your knee up or even cross your leg over, it's fine. You rest your foot on the floor, the outside of that foot on the floor, and you start leaning forward. And this leg that has the outside of the foot on the floor right here, this is the one that's going to get the stretch. So again, up to you completely as to how you're going to do this pose. Today, again, I felt it more crossing my leg over and leaning forward, so I'm going to stay here. I would recommend you try at least a few of these things, because you're never going to know. Let's try it out for yourself. That's the whole point of learning through firsthand experience, to try it out, see if it works. If it works, hey, that's great. That's something you can add into your repertoire. But if you try something out and you find out, it's not really working for me, it's okay. There are 2 reasons to why a pose won't work for you. It's either tension, you're just too tight, you're inflexible. Good news is that's something you can change. The more you stretch, the more you move, the more flexible you become. But you might also find out that it's because of compression, where your bones are stopping you, or just 2 parts of your body are coming into contact. If you know that your bones are running into each other, which, by the way, that sensation will feel like I can take one finger, point to a joint, say it's squeezing right here, whatever joint it is. If you know it's compression, you're never going to change that. And that's okay. It's good to know. It's not a waste of time to try out different poses, different modifications, right? Just so you can learn whether or not it's going to work for you. Again, no wasted effort here. If you're ready though, there's time. Real slow. Uncross. Let that leg out. Take a moment. We're going to do 2 more poses. We're going to stretch our quads and do a twist at the same time. And then we'll do a back bend. Before we know it, we're going to be done with this practice. Let's try to do this one on the same page, though. So our quads are the upper thighs, right? The front of your legs. What I'm going to recommend you do is take one leg back. I'm going to take my left leg back behind my chair. And maybe I'll show you from the side here, too. So I have my foot on the floor here. This is the quad that's going to get the stretch. So again, we see this profile view. One thing that I want you to do is try to lean back into your chair. Doesn't matter how far you go, just a little bit of effort there. And then twist away from it. Let me show you from the front view here too. So again, we got that leg back, leaning back, twisting away from that leg. This can really increase that quad for the left leg. And not only do you get the quad stretch, but then you get your twist here in your side body. That's why I wanted to do it, just to combine a few things here. I usually will grab onto something on my chair as well. You know, I mean, the outside of it is totally fine here. But breathe into it. When you're ready. Real slow. Unwind from the twist. Let that leg out. Shake it off a little bit. Take a moment, right? Just feel the difference between the 2. I like to give you that moment to feel the rebound effect. You know, how different does that side feel as opposed to the other one, the one you haven't stretched? Just gives you this idea of, this is what it feels like to stretch. This is what it feels like to not stretch. And I think it feels better to stretch. other side when you're ready. Whatever side you are on, but if you're on the same page as me, it's the right leg, squat, upper thigh getting this one. So you're going to have your right leg wrapped back behind you. Again, I'll show you from the profile here too. You got the foot on the floor here, right? And I mean, some people would rather have their toes on the floor. It's fine. I personally prefer to have the foot on the floor, just me. Lean back into your chair a little bit and add the element of twisting away from that leg. So if it's your right leg back behind you, that means you are turning left now. So you can feel the twist in the left side of the body. You feel the quad stretch on the right leg, right here through the front. So grab onto something on your chair. Get comfortable, right? And don't worry about how deep you go into these. It's a common mistake that people will think, especially when you get into a stretching practice. If you're a new student, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, it's stretching, right? Stretch as far as possible. That's the exact opposite mindset that I want you to have. I want you to find a sweet spot of where does it feel like I'm getting enough, but not too much, but it's also not too little. I joke around and I say find the Goldilocks zone, right? It's not too much, not too little, but it's just right. Find that, wherever that is for you. It's different for everybody. Some people have really increased ranges of motion, and others don't. But that's okay, right? It's okay. Wherever you are, that's fine. But just remind yourself you are improving. Every practice you do, you get better at it. And that's why it feels good to keep going. Even if it just becomes small milestones here and there, those milestones add up. And when you're ready, go ahead slowly unwind from your twist. Take your time on out. Let that leg out a little bit, move it around. Like I said, we have one more pose left. We have to do a back bend. If you are in the chair with this one, I would probably recommend using a block. Let me show you from the profile view here. So you're going to have your block behind your back. Doesn't matter if it's high up or low down, it's wherever it's comfortable. And I want you to lean back into your chair. Now, what you can do with your hands, you can just rest them in front of you. Some people like to have their hands behind the head just to give their neck some support. That's really up to you. And if you find out that you need to come forward for a little bit, that's okay as well. If you happen to be doing this and you've been doing our yin practices on a regular basis, you could do a Sphinx pose or a supported bridge. Again, either are fine. Breathe here. When you're ready, slowly bring yourself forward and then come to elbows and knees. Allow your spine to round here for a moment. Always feels nice after a deep back bend to do a gentle forward bend. We're at the end of our practice. And if you're ready for Shavasana, for corpse pose, you can do this in the chair or on the floor. That's going to be up to you. But what I want you to do, if you're in the chair, I want you to sit upright. Nice, pretty posture here, like you're doing meditation posture. If you're on the floor, you can just lay on your back or lay on your side. That's fine. Just wherever you're comfortable, go there and close your eyes. Nothing to see at this point, just more to feel and pay attention to. Focus on your breath. Breathe low in your belly, low in your diaphragm. Turn your senses and your awareness within. And for these last few minutes, just observe the work that you've done with your practice. Feel how different your body is right now. Compare it What does it feel like when you started? What does it feel like right now? No formal ending to our practice. Keep your eyes closed. Stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. But that's officially all that I have for you. I want to thank you all for coming out, sharing your practice with me. It's been my pleasure. Namaste. There it is.